Hi everybody. So in this lecture we're going to go over the evaluative essay so that you know what I'm looking for and what that looks like and how to go about evaluating some sources. So in this essay we're looking at a set of sources that are provided to you, and you get to choose from two different topics. So this is the essay packet that I'm looking at right now. You can find this on Canvas under modules. And just like every other essay packet, you've got a table of contents here that tells you where to find everything. So the thing that we're going to start off with is the prompt, and then I'll go over the rubric, and then you can go over the sample essay on your own. Got some fun memes about evaluating things and being credible. And then here's the evaluative essay rubric. So in this one, what you're doing is demonstrating your abilities to evaluate scholarly sources in an academic way. This seems pretty straightforward, but remember that I'm asking for more than just simply picking a favorite source. Your essay should instead look at those resources and evaluate each one so that you can give your readers a better understanding of what each one brings to the overall conversation. So here are some things that you should do before you start writing. First of all, you need to read and annotate the assigned articles about human trafficking and issues surrounding the justice system. Then you're going to also watch those TED Talks and other videos about these issues. You should also have read and annotated the assigned section of our textbook that talks about evaluating sources so that you're familiar with sort of what that looks like and how to do an evaluation. And then what you're going to do from there is start to think about your particular essay. So now you're choosing a topic. You can either look at all of the sources about human trafficking, or you can look at all of the sources about the justice system. So you should not be writing about both, just one or the other. And then you're going to get into the evaluation steps themselves. So for the set of resources that you have chosen, look carefully at the ways in which each resource, so each article or video, informs us about the issue at hand. So your goal here is to analyze and explain how the author or speaker goes about convincing us that the issue is relevant, and look at how they're persuading us to believe their claims. So instead of saying, this source is wrong or I don't agree with it, that's not quite what you're doing. You're looking at their moves that they're making as either authors or speakers, and you're helping us as readers understand sort of what each source brings to our overall understanding of the issue. So each of them takes a little bit of a different approach to informing their audience, and that's what I want you to look at when you're evaluating. So now that you have already read and or watched all of those resources, then you need to complete that essay portion, right? So in the essay, you're going to be presenting your evaluation of all of those resources about the topic that you've chosen. And this needs to be more than just a collection of evaluations. I would like to see your evaluations of each source, yes, but I want you to do that cohesively in an essay. So we'll talk a little bit more about how to achieve that. So remember that in the essay, you need to do several things. First, I do need to see that you have examined each source individually. So you should be explaining and using evidence from the source to tell us how that particular source presents information. Include basic information also about the source, like the type of source that it is, the title, and their overall claims. But you should also make some judgments about how well the source presents its information. So you'll do that for each of the sources about your chosen topic. And then you also have to do this connection piece. So make sure that as you're evaluating each source, you're also making connections between the sources. So you should make meaningful connections, explaining how each one is relevant to the overall topic at hand, And then also help us understand things like how they present information, what type of information that particular source seems to value, and how it contributes to the other sources and to our overall understanding of the topic at hand. Lastly, make sure that you're using evidence from each source effectively. So make sure that you're using sort of that quote sandwich method where you are introducing your quotes before you use them and then citing each of your quotes appropriately in MLA format. Basic requirements. So you will see assignment details and the schedule for your different due dates, but some basic things that you'll need to turn in for the essay. You'll have plans for this essay. You'll need to submit a first draft. You should be participating in workshops. You need to submit a significantly revised final draft, and then make sure that you're using MLA formatting guidelines. So that's the prompt for the essay. As always, if you have any questions or you're having a hard time figuring out what this looks like, the first place that I would recommend you looking is the sample essay. Make sure that you give that a good read through so that you can see what a successful essay on this particular topic looks like. And all of my sample essays are pulled directly from previous classes from students who have done the assignment and done well. So they're a great resource for you. From there, if you're still having trouble, then it's a great idea to talk to somebody in your group and see, how your group is doing with this topic and if they can help you understand it. Tutoring is also a great resource for you that we have, so make sure you're taking advantage of that. And then also, if you're still having trouble or your group is still confused or you just need some more support, then that's the time to reach out to me and maybe set up a Zoom meeting and we can chat that way. Okay, so now that we've gone through the prompt, we'll look at the, this is labeled wrong. So now that we've gone through the prompt, we'll look at the rubric, which is what this should say. So just like any other rubric for a different essay, you'll see on the left-hand side a category and how many points are possible there. And then this is the section where I would actually assign a grade. So for this essay, the first category is the basic requirements. That means that your essay meets the basic page length and it has MLA formatting and it is clearly addressing the topic at hand. So you've got 10 points available there. The next category is your evaluation category. So this is how well your essay evaluates both print and media sources. So these are the articles, these are the videos. And making sure that you're doing that using academic language and clear criteria. So that's 30 points available there. The next category deals with your paragraph cohesion and development. So your evaluations of each source should occur in cohesive paragraphs. Those need to be fully developed with things like topic sentences, signal phrases, evidence, and explanation of that evidence. And then they should also relate to one another in meaningful ways. So this is where you are sort of connecting your sources, and then also making sure that you have fully developed paragraphs where you're evaluating each source individually, but also drawing those connections. And that is 20 points available there. This next category, you're graded just for making those connections between the sources. So the connections should be clear. They should demonstrate and discuss what each source brings to the overall scholarly conversation. So that's our overall understanding of the topic at hand, while also explaining how the sources relate to one another. So you've got 20 points available there. And then lastly, your use of evidence. So make sure that you're using evidence to explain and to support the claims that you're making about what each source brings to the table. So your essay should use evidence in a way that enhances the overall evaluation. It should give examples when needed and make sure that the evidence is of appropriate length and is cited in MLA format. So remember, keep your evidence pretty short. We don't need quotes that are like half a page long. try and keep them to just a couple lines. So be really selective in choosing your evidence. Make sure that you cite in MLA format. And that is 20 points. So overall, your essay is worth 100 points total. Okay, that brings us to the sample essay, which you can read over. So you'll see this is formatted in MLA. Of course, this would start on this page, not this one, but my formatting has messed up a bit. And this one, it looks like they chose to discuss the human trafficking issue. So you can read all about several different sources that this particular student looked at and see what it looks like when someone evaluates a few different sources for this assignment and does a very good job of that. Okay, so that is our evaluative essay, the next thing that we are working on for class. As always, if you have any questions about anything that I've gone over, or you find yourself getting stuck or a little bit confused, make sure you reach out to your group, make sure you reach out to tutoring, and make sure that you reach out to me, because all of us are there to help you.